Hey everyone, so today's video we're gonna get right into it because I decided to do a one sheet wonder with the June kit from Scrapbooking with Me, and I'm gonna start by using the Kaisercraft Stargazer stamp set. And I have two sheets of paper that I've uh, trimmed down to, I want to say, like 3 by 4. And on the very bottom I'm stamping twice. It's sort of like a chart. It's directional. It's really hard to explain because I don't know astronomy like that, but it was a really cool little symbol, with the half is like half a shape. And right up above it I'm going to stamp um, the it's a magical birthday, or have a magical birthday sentiment. We're going to use the VersaFine Black Onyx ink and stamp that twice. Now, while I'm doing that, I do want to let you know I'm using a One Sheet Wonder template from Jessica Taylor. I couldn't add the photo to the actual video itself, so what I'm going to do is put down in the link below a link to uh, where I found her on Pinterest, which will lead you guys to her blog. Okay, and then on there you'll be able to download the template. She has it on there free, and you'll be able to go from there. So the first two that I'm putting together, the cuts are 5 1/4, and the pattern paper is cut at 4 inches. So you'll have like, because it's a 12 by 12 sheet. So the first cut you do is 5 1/4. And then you'll take that 5 1/4 strip that you cut and cut two pieces at 4 inches, and then cut two at 2 inches. So the 4 inch ones are the ones that I have right here. And I laid down what I was stamping to see if I would like it plain, and I decided to mat it. And I'm just taking the same cardstock that I'm using as my base to back the sentiment. So it ties into, that particular blue again by, being that slight border on the focal image. And really, these first two are so simple. It's easy to do, and it gives you just enough pattern paper, and then you have the uh, sentiment right on top. Now, the back side of this paper is gorgeous. This particular sheet that I chose, it has these beautiful flowers on it. And when I was gonna start the One Sheet Wonder, I was actually gonna do all of them with the flowers. And then I wanted to show you guys, what you could do with the stamp set. And I was like, you know what? This would work really good with the backside. So most of the cards you're going to see with this particular pattern, that's facing up, but I am going to do, I want to say it's either 2 or 3 cards where it will have the flower background. So on this one, this is one of the 2 by 5 1/4 sheets. So I lined it up on my mat, and on all my mats I made them 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. So it gives me just a little bit of border. And then on the one, I don't know if I showed it on there yet, but I am going to put a strip of the glitter paper that came in the kit as well. I just made it a 1/2 inch, and then I cut it down to create almost like if you were using the ribbon. I've done that before on some cards, but instead of doing ribbons where they can sometimes be bulky, I decided to use the glitter paper because the glitter paper that came in the kit was actually pretty light. So right now, I'm sorry I got it down below, but I am stamping the sentiment, which is love you to the moon and back. I'm just trying to check them out because I have them right here in front of me while I'm doing it. Yeah, I love you to the moon and back. And then I'm carefully as I can stamping the moon images that are on the stamp set to create some interest on that side panel. So we're going to do it again. because we had the two-inch pieces. So I'm making those exactly the same with the same strip and sentiment at the bottom. And then there's another strip that we're going to cut, which would be at a 4-inch. And then you're going to cut 4 times at 3-inch. So you'll have your strip of 4, the 4-inch. And then you're going to cut it, when you cut it the 3 times, you'll wind up having like 4 pieces, which I'll show you in a second what we're going to do with those. But on this particular one that we're working on, I'm using the magical birthday, and then I decided to do the half moon on each side. And on this one, I want to say we used letter E, which wound up being 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. That particular sheet, it all depends on really which way I guess you start by your cutting. But if you start with the big one, cut 5 1/4, that's one strip. Cut another strip at 4 inches. Your next strip would be cut at 2 1/4, and you would have a 1/2 inch strip that was left. Okay, and then you would cut the pieces, according to the template. Now these 2 strips that I'm putting on the side, those are from that last 1/2 inch strip. All I did was cut it down to be the 5 3/8 in length, and then put each one on the opposite end. And then I'm taking one of the sentiments and I'm just stamping it right in the center. And really that was all I was going to do. At the end, or towards the end, you'll see I do add a little bit more, but it was just because when I was done I realized it just needed something else. Thought at first I was happy with it being kind of simple, but then I wanted a little bit more. Alright, so then we're going to put that one to the side. And then I was checking the 4, and I really wasn't sure what all I wanted to do. And I decided to go to this one square that's 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. I cut it in half on the diagonal. And then I realized I had taped on the opposite side, so the flowers were going to be sticking out. And I was like, you know what, that's okay. I'm going to use the same sentiment, try to get it as centered as I can, and just stamp down and up, and then attach it to the card base. Because at this point, I wasn't planning on doing a whole lot of decorations to them. I just figured, keep it nice and simple. But as I go, I start pulling out the ephemera pieces and the sticker sheet, and things kind of change. Now on this one, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with these squares, which are 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. There's 2 of them. I could have used one for each square, like each card, made a separate card. But I decided, for me, I wanted to do 12 cards. And so I was going to take those 2 squares and create like a pattern on the front with it, and I really wasn't sure what to do, so I decided to try doing the squares on a diagonal, so like a diamond shape. And then what I decided to do was tape down the one, and then use foam tape on the second one to give it a little added dimension. So you can see, just putting that down, and then we're going to grab a piece of foam tape here and just cut some pieces and attach that to give it a little bit of height difference. And then before we're done, we're going to add some pieces to that. And those are the 4 pieces that I have that are 4 by 3 inches. So on the 4 by 3 inch ones, I'm going to create a base or a mat that is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. Just a little bit bigger, just so there's a little bit of that blue that goes around the edge, which I think goes really well with the flower pattern. And it goes well with the main pattern that we've been using, which is on the other side. So once I got those all taped and I put the three of them together, I'm going to show you on this last one a version of what I did. So I took a 1-inch strip of the glitter paper, the silver glitter paper, and I put it right down the middle. And I wanted to go ahead and get that page attached. And then we're going to take the focal image, the 3x4, and as even as we can, we're going to put it right on the center. And I couldn't decide if I wanted it kind of off on the side or if it was going to be better right in the middle. As you can see, I did it right, really at the bottom right. So here are all the cards. And you can see some of them I just used the stamping and that's all done. But I decided, yeah, I needed to do a little bit of extra. So the strip with the Kaisercraft, there's a strip that tells you like the name of the product, the page itself, and then on the other side there's a pattern. Well, for this particular sheet, the pattern was stars, which is perfect because the sentiment is talking about stars. That particular one is actually saying, "You are my sun, my moon, and all of my stars." So I thought that one was perfect. Now for this one, I love the blue paper, the pattern paper with the flower. So in the ephemera, it has a flower. Now it's not laying exactly the way that I want it. So what I did was I trimmed off the little teeny leaf and then stuck it somewhere else and laid it flat on the card. And these I thought were good. Like I could add enamel dots, but I wasn't sure. Like on this one, I didn't want to do the enamel dots. I might if I decide to like group them and sell them. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Now this one, because I had put the circle far off to the right, I felt like it needed a little bit of something. So I went and grabbed the sticker sheet. It had 3 stars and this circle sticker with the looks like the sun in the center. Well, in the ephemera, there's a globe that's black as well. And so I put a little bit of foam tape on it and I'm placing it as close to the center as possible to just finish it off. And for this one, there was a sticker circle that kind of matched the pattern. And so I used that to kind of finish everything off. So here are close-ups of each of the cards. And this one I would probably say is one of my favorites because like all the pattern pieces and everything seem to come together pretty quickly. And I find with one sheet wonders, it's good to have that come together quick because it can take a long time, especially if you're doing a lot of prep work as far as your stamping and stuff like that. So this particular kit is sold out. However, I'm still going to have links down below to scrapbookingwithme.com because there's a lot of different Kaisercraft sets that are in stock, and you can do the same thing with any paper collection. All you need is a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, okay? When you guys go over to scrapbookingwithme.com, make sure you use my coupon code, which is TT15. Thanks again, you guys, and I hope you have a great day.